Hello and welcome to Retech, and today's just an overview of why I've been delayed a little bit on doing part 2 for the MIDI system on the Amiga, and that's because of all of this. Basically, I'm kind of running out of space. I've realised that things was getting a bit tight, and I've got, basically, you'll have to forgive the mess because I've got stuff everywhere at the moment. I'm trying to sort out things as we go, and everything's rather full to the ceiling. From the ceiling down you can see roughly the same, and as I go walk around you might get an idea why. And I've got stuff everywhere because I'm just literally trying to sort things out. And it's absolutely piled up. It's not normally like this. It's normally pretty well stacked out and kind of neatly put away, but I've had to pull a lot of stuff out. As you can see, I've got stuff on the floor, stuff piled high, and the reason for that is on the side, or on the back of the workshop where I did some filming with one of these cameras, I've actually built an extra room. So it's not quite finished. It's getting there though. I've still got more stuff in the corner, more stuff piled on the floor, and it's kind of getting there. But the whole idea is that this is going to be a separate room rather than have a workshop which does everything. It's going to be literally a room where I do the recording. So this is what this room's going to be, and it's kind of getting there. It's nearly done, and I've started to kind of sort out some of the lighting. Just got to get it kind of plastered out and then literally set it up the way I want, with the couple of monitors on the wall, big screen, some soundproofing, and then hopefully this will be a nice place to kind of do some more videos and stuff. Okay, and it's going to take him probably another few days to finish off properly, but you know, you kind of get the idea where we have a separate space from kind of this, instead of having what literally is a huge storeroom, really, to be honest. So what I had to do was kind of start cutting holes in walls and building an extension. So where this wall or this doorway is now, or this entrance, was actually a solid wall, and that's been cut away, and it's now part of an entranceway into a separate room. So you know, it does take a little bit of time, but at the end of the day we're going to have a nicer space to work in. So that's the plan. So I'm just waiting for it to be finished and then we can get started. Because basically I've been building a new studio. This is what I've been doing over the last sort of 10 days or so. And it was built from scratch. This wasn't here. This was a patch of concrete less than 2 weeks ago. And the reason is because I kind of ran out of room. We've got probably 100 plus individual micros, not including peripherals, not including software, and they kind of took up a lot of room. So I was running out of space, and also I really kind of needed a separate space to film in rather than, you know, just have everything in one area. So this is what I've been doing, and as I say, it was scratch built. It wasn't built from a room. So this is basically a small studio built over the course of the last 10 days, and all it really needs now is finishing. We've got marker tape on here just so I can line up the covering I'm going to put on this wall, and also marker tape down here, which kind of gives me an idea of where and how far I need to extend it. But it's all for you guys, really. It's this is my hobby, and I hope you enjoy, you know, watching what I do. But you know, it's got to a point where I was kind of seriously running out of room. So this is what I've done. So we're just going to have a quick kind of look around in a couple of the stages as it was being kind of put together, or the interior being put together, and give you an idea of where I am with it. But long term, I want to carry on with part 2 of the MIDI, because the Amiga I actually enjoyed. I really enjoyed using the Amiga for recording for MIDI, and it seems like it was a forgotten machine as far as MIDI was concerned, and that's where I'm going in part 2. But we've also got other machines, such as this Amstrad, the Amstrad 1512 and the 1640 range of computers. And in the classic world, they've kind of been forgotten. But these were almost aspirational machines for a lot of people, but I'm going to cover this in one of my next videos. And I've finally got hold of a really decent example, complete with all of the original software. And that's something else, another project as well, in another video. And I'm looking forward to actually using this one because it's such a nicely preserved machine. What else have we got lined up? Well, we've got more on the MIDI front because it's something I enjoy, but also I'd like to be able to use maybe an Atari and a Commodore and a modern DAW and a classic and modern keyboard and kind of combine them to make a track, and to basically find out once and for all which one is not so much the most powerful, because we probably know that anyway, but which one's the most easiest to use and which one would you get the most fun out. So that's something else I want to do down the line. I've also got hopefully a really good interview with David Pleasance coming up. That should be kind of within the next 2 weeks or so, and this should be a really good interview. It's basically something I've been trying to get done for quite a while, and also it means that, you know, we'll be able to get more of an insight into David rather than what most people see as the Commodore years. Well, that's where I'm kind of trying to head with it. But again, it's an interview about David, by David, for David, so we'll basically got to see where it heads. But this could be a very interesting video. A little bit more on the Retro Computing Museum, and also I want to try and get hold of the guys at the Cambridge Computer Museum, because it's kind of my local museum anyway, and it would be nice to get hold of Jason and the gang there and say, look, can we do some filming in there, because it would be nice to be able to spotlight their museum as well. So it would be great to kind of do a few videos and a few pieces about how they progressed and how they developed, because if it's anything like the Leicester Computer Museum that we featured only a few weeks ago, it was a massively interesting video, and has got a lot of really good feedback on that. And it was about the creator of the museum, not the museum itself, which is where most people kind of, I think, forget. They forget about the person and they kind of concentrate on the kit. So yeah, I'd like to do one in my local museum as well. So that's something I'm going to try and get pulled off in the, hopefully, this foreseeable future. I also want to catch up with Mark Isles again, because he did a fantastic video about Quicksilver software, and it would be nice to catch up with him again very shortly. And now restrictions are kind of lifting. It would be nice to meet up for that long awaited coffee with him, so I'm kind of hoping we'll be able to do that very shortly. I did promise him that we would meet up because he did a massively fantastic job with his recollections and his basically reminiscence of the Quicksilver days, and it was brilliant. Couldn't thank him enough, still can't. Absolutely brilliant. We've got a lot more kit coming up as well. We've got Apple hardware, which I haven't really done a lot of. You know, I have a Mac Classics and Apple IIs and obviously the iMacs and so on, and I really haven't done a lot with them, and it would be nice to do something with the older Apple hardware. Now, it's very long in the tooth, this old hardware, because it was old when it was current, because you've got to think that Apple rehashed a lot of its kit to drop the prices to get extra value out of what it had already created, and by that time, you know, the things like the Apple Mac, were getting very, very long in the tooth, very old, very staid, but they still have a fantastic following. And there's a lot of broken Apple Macintoshes around because they fail hugely, and they're very, very difficult to get running again. So if you've got one, keep hold of one, and I hope you look forward to this video I'm going to do on one or two of the Apple Macintoshes. So yeah, there's a lot coming, there's a lot more software coming, there's a lot more of the computer history, which I've kind of put on hold for a little while because I'm desperately trying to get hold of one person to continue the actual series, because I'd rather deal with the people directly than kind of gaining things off the internet and researching them, because it's more of a personal story. So that's kind of going to continue with that, but I need really to get the next part where I'm kind of stuck at moving forward, and I want that to be more of a personal kind of interview and a personal reminiscence about how he played a part in microcomputing and computers. So yeah, it's coming on. It's all a little different now, and things are changing, and I'm kind of glad of that, because this whole kind of series that I put together, which intentionally was only to, you know, put together something for my little one and to show him what all these classic machines were about, I'm kind of glad it's kind of expanded from there, and I'm really glad it's kind of taken off in a way. And I'm also glad that I've been able to do some more of my stuff, such as the music side of it, and also the more kind of cinematic videos, which I want to do more of. And that's kind of expanded my kit as well. Started off from a phone, now got 3 professional cameras. I mean, how on earth does that happen? Plus getting back into music, I've now got 6 keyboards, 2 guitars, loads of mixing kits. You know, it's just snowballs, and it's brilliant, and it's great if it inspires other people to do it. So we've got a little bit more of the studio done now. We've got obviously a camera in place ready to go with a nice fill light on the top, and we've got some monitors on the wall, Commodore 64 with a Messiah system, the trusty old Atari ST, which is running some of the MIDI software on here. Obviously a monitor either side for either machine, and then as we come down we have a couple of keyboards, and then we go from the old style kind of analog keyboards into the more modern MIDI and USB MIDI systems, such as the keyboard on the bottom and the Korg in the middle there with its laptop, which is on the end linked to it. We've also got a lot of Korg little mini mixers and desks there, and also both analog and digital mixing systems here for audio. So we have a setup here which is mainly for music, for the channel, and for myself really, just to kind of play with. And then under The keyboards themselves, we have a PC, which is what I record all the WAV files on when I convert them, and obviously a Yamaha drum machine and a few bits and pieces here, and plus behind the stand we've got a Keyrig 49 key MIDI keyboard there, and we have a stand of classic computers, basically a big shelf of Commodore machines, generally the bread bin variety. On the top shelf we have the Amiga, emulated Amiga, which is the black one there, plus the 2048, and also the Spectrum in front is the Harlequin, and on the bottom we have the Commodore 128 and the Plus 4. So it's basically a big, mainly a Commodore shelf, that one really, to be fair, with a couple of Dragon 32s on the top. And then we have a desk, which at the moment has got an Amstrad PC on there, which is what I'm going to do a bit of a review about later, with quite a lot of camera equipment underneath in the silver cases, along with a couple of tubs of more Commodore stuff. So basically this is where we're going to do some of the filming. Obviously the walls aren't finished, they're marked out to put some sound deadening on and different colours, etc., but that's where we're up to at the moment. Okay, so now here's the kind of finished article, or the finished room, and it's a little studio with lots of sound deadening to get the echo out of the way, and you can probably hear it does sound a lot better. So hopefully this is all we need to do, and it's a nice place to be. And basically we have just over on the other side the keyboards, the Korg units, the music that we do for these videos, and also we've got another PC which is hidden away under the keyboard as well to help us out to do some recording. So this is our new home, so to speak. We don't have to mix it up with the stack or the kind of hardware that we've got on the go, or the projects that we've got on the go, and everything can be kept separate. So, and we'll have the next video very shortly, including the Amiga and its MIDI system. So hopefully we'll be able to create a few new tunes and get some more going on this channel as well. And maybe I'll put together a download or a CD together for people who kind of like that kind of 1980 style vibe, especially for the music. Okay, so thanks for watching, thanks for taking part in this, and we'll be back to normal very soon. Okay, thank you, see you soon.